4 months, I would say. So we did about a month in Thailand. We burned money quick. I think I made about £15,000. That should have lasted us 10 months easily.
Yeah.
We burnt through it in like 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah.
Especially in Thailand, the currency conversion is awful. What were you spending the money on?
High class living, bro. No hostels and nothing, fancy ass hotels, nice meals and everything, man.
Mate. Right. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. This is Chatzzz. This is going to be episode 9. Don't worry, it's widescreen. You'll be in it. You'll be in it. Don't worry.
Oh yeah,
it's
okay.
widescreen.
All right, say it.
We have a setup, it was sound, yeah. And we have a special guest today, Muj.
Wagwan fam.
So we're still in Dubai, believe it or not. So we've drafted him in from Abu Dhabi, special guest appearance. We're gonna have some fun today. Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
Cheers, man. Thanks for having us.
No problem. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Fun fact, we've only actually met once before, haven't we?
Yeah, this is actually the second time we've actually met, man.
So we were meant to meet to just like chill at the Dubai Mall or whatever, but then we were recording a podcast earlier and we thought, why not get to know each other a bit more? 'Cause it's quite therapeutic podcasting. And you talk about stuff that you probably might not talk about in a normal conversation, which is quite cool. But yeah, so I think we'll start off with, tell me 3 facts about yourself.
All right.
Tell us 3 facts about yourself.
Okay. First fact is I used to be a teacher. Another one, I actually had a tryout at an MLS. Another fact.
Ooh, go on.
Oh, mate. Another fact. I've traveled 32 countries.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, not bad.
So we'll start with the first one then. So I didn't know this. So you used to be a teacher. So
Yeah.
how did that come about?
So it was actually like a barbering thing. So I was just practicals at Carlisle College. They were like desperate for someone to come in and kind of teach the practical kind of side of stuff. And I was like quiet at work like on a Tuesdays, and I thought, fuck it, why not? You know what I mean? It's something to do. I thought it'd be a bit of a laugh, and the pay was good as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, might as well.
Did you enjoy being a teacher?
Fucking hated it, man. Honestly, I can't stand teaching those little bastards, little shits, man. It was weird though, because it was like a wide range of ages there. The youngest was like 16, and then the oldest must have been about in the 30s, I think.
Really?
Yeah, like the girls are a pain in the ass. They were just like there to collect the child benefits. That's it. Those little bastards.
So how did that come about though? Did you like apply for it? Did someone ask you or?
That is a good question. I can't even remember,
Yeah, that long ago.
I think it was something to do though. I think there was like a barbering event going on, the Great British Barber Bash. That goes nationwide, different cities and everything. And they came in Carlisle College and did a demonstration and all that sort of stuff. And I think I just got talking with them during that time. I was kind of involved with them. And they was talking about teaching and all this sort of stuff. And I was just like, yeah, I can teach. You know what I mean? Well, I can't really. I said I can. Yeah, and it just sort of kind of worked out through there. And I was like saying to them, like, I've got zero teaching experience. I've never taught a single day of my life. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. We just need someone to do practical. So actually teach them just practical skills. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. And then we sort of worked out what day and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, signed a contract and just away, started working, man.
That's so random, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, man.
That's an interesting fact though. And then the second one, it was you had a trial at an MLS club. And a fun fact, I was actually born in America.
Oh yeah?
So yeah. Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah. Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah. So what happened there?
So it was for Colorado Rapids. It was for them. And I was studying at the time. I was doing computer science. I was doing a degree in computer science. And
over there?
In Carlisle.
Oh yeah.
So during that time, they knew about that also. They were going to give me a scholarship. So I was going to be studying as well as playing. And all I need to do was go to the trial, which was in Birmingham. And obviously, Tim Howard.
Yeah.
It was his thing. It's organized by him. He's trying to find players from the UK to take over to the US. This was like, I think 21 at the time. So for me, this was like, all right, this is my last chance to get into football. So I thought, right, had this all set up. All I need to do is smash the trial, which I had no problem. I knew I could do it.
What position were you?
I was at that time, I was like right wing, left wing, or like a number 10, just either way. But the funny thing was, I didn't even go to my trial.
Oh, why not?
A girl.
Oh,
Classic.
That's
Classic.
terrible. And are you still with her now?
No.
Of course.
Of course not. That fucking ended horribly.
Yeah.
Mate, fucking that. No, we were in a long-term relationship, so it wasn't like it was one of those like, oh, I met a girl and blah blah blah, and then a few months later we split up kind of thing. It was our first trip we took together. So I think I took it to London, so it's like I completely just forgot about this trial. You know what it's like? You meet a new girl, you like fucking smitten and everything, doing loads of stuff together, all that, and you just forget about life. And I seen the email, and I was like, oh fuck,
Heart drops.
yeah. Couldn't organize another one. That was my chance gone.
Oh,
One time only. Get that one shot.
I get one shot to make it count.
Yeah,
And-
not make.
So then the final one, you traveled 32 countries,
Yes.
which is very, very impressive. So can you name them? Can you reel them off now?
Oh, I can name you all, right?
Go
So,
on.
wait, I am counting the home countries as well.
Yeah.
So, like every country that I've been in.
Yeah.
So we'll go from England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, France, Spain, Portugal, Germany, Poland, Czech Republic, Turkey, Greece, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, America, Canada, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Egypt.
How many are you counting? I've lost count.
I've lost count as well. Yeah, the viewers can count that for me, man.
So quite a few then. So that's pretty impressive. So what kind of like, when you were growing up, did you always want to travel?
No,
No.
never really.
No.
To be honest, all I want to be was a footballer.
Yeah.
Legit, my life just evolved around football. My mood evolved around football. You know, if Newcastle lost, just by looking at me, I'd just be a miserable cunt. Sorry, I should not say that word.
That's all right. So what were you like growing up then? So like primary school or secondary school? Did you enjoy it or?
I was, to be honest, right, I had friends in that, but I was a bit of a loner in a sense that no one was on my level, if you know what I mean. Not like in a big-headed way. I just had that crackhead energy, you know what I mean? I was just like, I like being on my own kind of thing, you know what I mean? So I had friends and all that. But also I was a little bastard, to be honest. I was an angry little shit. Not gonna lie. I was just like a lot of fighting and all that. I grew up with like 3 older brothers, so I was always getting beaten up by them. So it was like,
So used to it,
yeah, I'm used to it kind of thing, getting picked on and all that sort of stuff. So I was always like, yeah, just being a little shit, basically.
Because people say like, people can be like a popular loner, can't they? So like you got like friends, but you really enjoy your own company.
Yeah.
So what did you enjoy doing in your own company then when you were smaller?
What did I enjoy doing?
Was it like video games? Was it literally just playing football or?
Yeah, like video games and that. There's like standard stuff. I think like drawing and Lego and stuff, like building stuff, you know what I mean? Like I'm still into Lego now, man. I still buy Lego.
Yeah.
Lego's sick, you know what I mean? Like I seen the other day, I went to the Lego shop in the mall. Scoping out what Lego to buy. They got like, the Adidas Superstars sneakers. Yeah, they've got those. In Lego. Yeah, they've got the box and everything, man. I was just looking at it, it's like 500 Ds though. I'm like, can I really spend 500 Ds?
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
So that's like £100 in pound sterling, isn't it?
Yeah, about £100, yeah.
Oh,
so I was into like that. Anything like creative, really. Sharks. I was mad into sharks as a kid, man.
Like, you like the aquariums today in the Underwater Zoo.
Yeah, I probably like that, man. Yeah, I'm just like mad into sharks, even though I was terrified from watching Jaws.
Really?
Fucking scared me, man. Just like,
why? If you like sharks?
Don't want to get fucking eaten alive, you know what I mean? But I still will go in the waters though.
Yeah. Did you see that one that recently, the great white in Australia?
I heard about it. I have zero sympathy for him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you went to those waters, man. You got to expect that. You know what I mean? There's shark-infested waters. Like, I feel sorry for his family and all that. You know what I mean? That he died and that. But, you know what I mean? If you're going into a knife fight and not expect to be cut, you know what I mean? You're stupid.
Oh, no.
You know
it's crazy. You've seen that video as well?
I haven't seen the video yet. No, I don't think I could watch the video, to be fair. That's a bit too...
It's very, very graphic. It's not great.
Could not do that.
Yeah. It's just hard to, you can't really relate to that.
I think the good thing within Australia, with Australians and that, they don't blame the sharks for it. Whereas if you go into like other countries where like bear attacks and stuff like that, they'll hunt that bear down and kill it.
Kill it because
You know
it's
what I
killed
mean?
someone else.
Yeah. And I was like, you can't do that to animals, man. Like, really, what's happening is we are building into their environment. You know what I mean? So we're like destroying their environment, their homes, and we're going into their territory. So if they feel threatened, they've got the right to attack us.
Yeah,
You know
that's a
what
good
I
way to put it, actually. Yeah, when you put it like that, makes sense, doesn't it?
Exactly. And same with the sharks, man. It's like, and generally sharks, we're not even on their food list. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not at all.
Well, there's not enough fat on our body that for them to
taste.
like, yeah, exactly. That's why I prefer seals and stuff like that, because there's fat content there. But it's shapes and stuff like that they go for, and it's their like animal instinct to kind of like be curious and look into like, what is this little fucking creature? And
So that's the first one in 30 years, isn't it? Apparently.
Yeah.
And I don't know the facts, but apparently sharks would normally like go in, take a bite to taste you, and then be like, oh, it's a human. It's like you say, it's not fatty, it's not that tasty. Then go and leave you, whatever, and swim off. Apparently, it just went bang and then went right through.
They actually don't really do it for taste. They're just doing it to see what you are.
Yeah.
They don't have hands, do they? So what can they do? Use their mouth.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And like, you know, their teeth are like razor sharp. So you put that against skin, it's going to cut open. They get a bit of taste of blood, a bit, oh, what is this? You know what I mean? They bite on it. It's like, oh, I feel like I'm just chewing bones here, man. Spit you back out. By then, you're dead, aren't you?
Yeah. Good. But so then when you were growing up, then what were you kind of like? Were you like, say, creative or what, sporty at school or what kind of thing?
I'd say a bit of both, to be honest. I love sports, you know what I mean? Growing up, like obviously playing football, that was my main thing. I was really into boxing, but my mum never let me do boxing. She goes, look at Muhammad Ali, he's brain dead. I'm like, he's not brain dead, he's got fucking Parkinson's. You know what I mean? The difference there. So yeah, she never let me do boxing. Weirdly, I was into rugby. I love playing rugby. Didn't like watching it. Yeah. Didn't really get the sport, to be honest. I didn't really understand it. And just put me on the wing. Just fucking leg it, man. Get the balls. Fucking die.
I played quite a bit of rugby at school. I enjoyed it, but I definitely prefer football. Would you say you enjoyed the actual going to school, like the work, or would you say you just like the social aspect? Or
I hated every aspect of school, to be honest.
Didn't like being there.
It wasn't my vibe. First, like the education side of it, I'm not a kind of person that likes theory work. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you have to memorize stuff, writing, all that sort of stuff, like, it ain't my thing. I'm more a visual person, so practical. So I like using my hands and all that. So I like that side of it. It just bored me, you know what I mean? Just like sitting there, reading the board, teachers talking, it's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, memory tests. That's
man.
Isn't it?
That's why I failed all my exams, man. My highest grade I got was a D.
That's could be worse though.
The rest were E's and F's. Ultimate failure.
So school wasn't really a thing then. So obviously you must have finished like GCSE 16.
Yeah. So
and then what was the kind of plan of action then? Because obviously you said you were really practical and creative and stuff. And you kind of knew you didn't want to maybe progress to sixth form or uni. So was there a plan or was it just like winging it?
Honestly, winging it. Like I didn't have a clue what to do. All I remember was one of my mates. He was into his computers. I just copied him. Yeah. It's like he was like 2-3 years older than me as well. So he worked at PC World and all that sort of stuff. Knew his computers, got mad discounts and all that. And I was like, I want a bit of that cake. You know what I mean? So I was just like, all right, I'll just get into computers. Didn't really like computers, but I ended up getting a foundation degree in computer science somehow.
So random.
Yeah, fucking winged it, mate. I managed to get my qualification. I was like, sweet.
Yeah. So you did that then, and then what was kind of like the path after that? Because you're obviously completely different to for computers to where you are now, aren't you?
Yeah,
it's miles apart.
So like, barbering wise, so that's what I'm in now.
How did that come about?
So I've always cut my own hair since I was a kid because the barbers in Carlisle was just shit. They just couldn't cut my hair. They didn't know how to do a fade or a lineup or anything. I remember like, because a lineup is basically just like boxing your hairline out. So I used to like that sharpness. And they used to give me a rainbow, it's like a curve.
Oh.
I was like, look in the mirror, I'm like, why? I was like, 90-degree angles, bro. Did you not do geometry in school? You know what I mean?
Maybe he got an F at that.
Yeah, mate, I got fucking unmarked in my fucking maths, and I know that. So no excuse for him. Yeah, so it was just basically, right, if you can't do it, then I'll do it. And I've always been a kind of person, I'm quick at learning stuff, you know, especially practical. So was banged on YouTube, watched a load of videos, and just bought some cheap Remington clippers from Argos, like 20 quid worth. and just started cutting my hair, man. Obviously, it wasn't good from the beginning. It was shit. I was just like, do a fade, I looked at it, it's looking a bit janky. That so I shaved it all off, buzzed it all down, and within like a week it would grow back again. And just kept going until I could cut hair, and then started doing my brother's hair and some friends as well, and just left it at that really. And then I actually did look at doing like a course in barbering, but at that time everything was in London. There was nothing anywhere else, so I just like knocked it on the head. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna bother with it. And then it was meeting up with one of my mates I haven't seen in a while, and I was asking him, what are you up to these days? And he's like, I'm doing a barber apprenticeship. And I was like, oh yeah, where are you doing that? And he's like, Carlo. I was like, fuck you doing it, Carlo, where are you doing that? And there's this weird ass building up. Oh, where is it? Fuck. I can't remember. Anyways, so I just like asked him about it and everything, and he says, yeah, it's just a course we do. It's every fortnight, or once every fortnight, and then you're in your work placement in the shop for how many hours. And I was like, all right, sweet. So I went down to the college and just talked with them, like, what's it all about, and just signed up to it. And then rocked up into Vintage. I was like, yo, can I get an apprenticeship? And they were just like, yeah, pretty much. And then just started there. I could not cut the top of anyone's hair. I would just do fades. So I just did people's fades, and then the owner should finish off the top. Legit, that's how it went down. And then within like 3 months, they were just like, yo, you don't need to do the apprenticeship anymore. You're good enough to be on the shop floor. And I was like, really? I was like, yeah, just work away. I was like, sweet. But I still did the apprenticeship because I just wanted that bit of paper, you know what I mean? Just a bit of security behind you, because you never know when you might need it. And then, yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it.
So what, because like, say for me, if I got a shit haircut, I wouldn't automatically think, oh, I'm going to go and buy my own clippers and sort my own hair out. So how did that like happen? What was the thought process?
Well, it was just the thought process was I pretty much went to every barbershop in Carlisle to try and fix it. And they were just so bad. And then the last barbershop I went to, it was that bad. I looked at it and went home. I was like, the only way to save this is zero all over. It's the only way to save it. So I just did that. And
fair enough.
Yeah.
So then so you said you've obviously been to 32 countries. So do you think barbering's been a good choice to go and travel? Because you said you didn't even want to travel when you were younger. So what was like?
Okay, so
at the moment it's all everything's scattered around. I can't work out.
So the traveling actually happened. It was because of my ex. The reason, like, she was like miserable with life and that. She went from job to job, and I was like, well, what do you want to do in life then? And she was like, I want to travel the world. And I was like, all right, well, let me just save some money up and we'll go traveling then. And at that time, I'd only been working 1 year professional barbering in a shop. So, and I was like content with life. I was happy, you know what I mean? I was like building clientele, my skills were getting better and all that. But just to keep her happy, I was like, fuck it, I'll take you traveling then. So I was working 2 jobs at that time as well. So my dad's got a business. I was working for him in the evenings and barb shop in the day. So like 15 hours a day, I just fucking graft. Yeah, and then we just sort of booked a trip to Thailand, just booked 2 nights in Bangkok, and that was it. Didn't plan anything else, and just fucking... Yeah, just hopped on a plane and just fucking went with it, man.
So you say that was just literally because your girlfriend said, I want to go traveling?
Yeah, legit, man. Shit you do, man, to keep your girl happy, you know what I mean? Put my whole life on fucking hold.
So then where did it go from there then? Did you stay with this girl for long? How long did you go traveling for, in fact, should we say?
Oh, mate. I'd still say I'm still traveling. I don't really have a permanent home right now. I'll tell you a funny one, and I've got a bit off topic.
The tangents are good.
So when I signed up to this job in Abu Dhabi, they put like a profile picture kind of thing just on like a description about me, and the boss goes like saying, yo, just put a little small description and we'll put it on our page and all that. And I was like, all right, sweet. I said, put me down as a high-class gypsy. Don't do caravans, just planes. And he was just like, no, you cannot put that down. Like, they will take it seriously over it. Like, fuck it, all right. What was the question, by the way?
Yeah, so I said, you booked the 2 nights. And then how long were you traveling for then?
Oh,
First
yeah.
experiences.
So from there, I think we did about 4 months, I would say. So we did about a month in Thailand. We burned money quick. I think I made about £15,000. That should have lasted us 10 months easily.
Yeah.
We burnt through it in like 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah.
Especially in Thailand, the currency conversion's awful. What were you spending the money on?
High class living, bro. No hostels or nothing, fancy ass hotels, nice meals and everything, man.
Oh, mate, that's a lot of money to spend in 4 months.
Is, like, my philosophy is you work hard for your money, you work hard, play hard, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to skimp out, you know what I mean? I worked hard for that, so I want luxury. I want like the best of the best. If it's, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to do the whole hostel life. That just sound grimy to me.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah. Plus, like when you're in a relationship as well, like you don't want to, you know what
share
I mean?
with
Like,
someone else, like bunk
10
beds
of them.
and shit.
Yeah, that's just if you're single, it could be a fun thing because you meet different people. Like I've known a lot of people that have done that and they've had good experience. But I think as a couple, you don't want to.
Couldn't, could you? Yeah, you need your own space. I think, like you say, I haven't been traveling in hostels, but imagine my friends have, and they said it's really the perfect place to meet people, and people are doing the same thing, and you go and see them for a few days, and you go to another one. And
Exactly.
That's quite cool. So what did you do then after the 4 months?
After that, we were running out of money. Bali, I think, at the time, and running out of money. Like, fuck, what do we do? Is that we don't want to go home yet. Not quite yet. So I thought, yo, let's see if we can apply for visas in Australia, because I heard loads of people go to Australia to work. So we thought, right, if we get our visas, we'll go for 3 months, just graft, make money, and then jet out back into Asia, travel again. We got the visas dead easy to get. I got them within 30 minutes of applying. Yeah, it came out quick. Just paid 200 Australian dollars. That was it. Got the visas. So we got in there and pretty much got a job instantly. Just rocked up to a shop. And
barbershop.
Yeah. Did one haircut, which was actually shocking. Shit, man. Really bad haircut, but they liked it and gave me the job. This sweet. And then, it was like working there. This is Melbourne, by the way. Going to Melbourne. Didn't really enjoy Melbourne, to be honest, because it was like winter and I didn't realize Australia had winter. I thought it was just summer all year round. And like when you've been in Asia for that long, like 40-degree heat, to go into like 10-degree temperature with freezing cold winds from the sea, like basic Arctic winds, it's not nice. So then spent about 2 months there, left and went into Australia. I mean, fucking I am in Australia. Sydney. Went into Sydney. I fucking loved it, mate. We actually ended up staying in Australia for a year. Planned 3 months, but ended up being a year.
What did you like so much about Sydney then?
Lifestyle, man. Everything evolves around the beach. You know what I mean? Like living next to the beach, working next to the beach. Everything's the beach, man. Sun, sea, sand.
Yeah, and the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never heard anyone speak badly about Australia. Same with Bali. They're the two places when you say, oh, you've been there, and they're like, oh, amazing. I'd love to go back, love to live there, and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Never hear a bad word. But my mate lived in Sydney for 2 years, I think it was.
Yeah.
He came back recently and he thought it was class. But so what's like, say, obviously barbering and working. So what's it like actually like living there rather than just going on holiday? What's the difference, do you think?
Well, when you live in there, you find places that you just want to see as a tourist. Because when you're a tourist, you're on a time scale, aren't you?
Yeah.
So living there, you're not on that time. You got time, and plus you start meeting a lot of different people. Mainly, I would say locals. When you're a tourist, you tend to just meet other tourists. You know what I mean? When you start meeting locals and that, you get like inside knowledge of places. So you see things that a tourist generally won't see. So that's what I would say is probably the difference.
So Sydney, you loved it. You were there for a year. You were barbering. Do you think barbering then subconsciously was the best decision you ever made because you can actually travel and work wherever you want?
100%. Yeah. Like, you know how I was saying with the whole football thing, I definitely don't regret the way things turned out. Yeah, it was a bummer. It was a dream of mine, but footballing careers pretty much end as soon as you're like, 32 or something, and then you're done for. And then after that, it's like, well, what the fuck do I do? All you know is football. Barbering, man, I can do that as long as my hands are healthy, my back's healthy, my legs are healthy. As long as that's all intact, I can do that for as long as possible. And like you're saying, like you travel with it. Yeah. Take your tools and you're away.
Yeah, I think it's like, what I was going to say, I always say like, everything works out for the best in the end anyway, doesn't it? No matter what you do, you just got to trust the process, haven't you?
Exactly.
It's like you say, you fucked it with the football trial, but then you actually managed to get the qualification in barbering and then be able to travel the world, which I think, especially these days, people of like our age, that's what they want to do, isn't it? They either want to have the laptop lifestyle and be able to travel on and work on the laptop, or have a skill that they can use wherever in the world. Because if you can cut hair, you can fucking work wherever you want.
Mate,
Everyone
exactly.
needs a haircut.
Yeah.
That's like one of the things that people actually need.
Exactly, man. Everyone needs a haircut unless you're a hippie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just need a wash.
So then what was kind of like the crack then after Sydney? Were you still with your girlfriend at the time, or?
After Sydney, what did we do? Back into Asia, did like Philippines and Sri Lanka and that again, money's going quick because it's like to spend money, you know.
Yeah.
And then we got back into England. Well, before actually, I'll rewind that back.
Yeah.
I got offered a sponsorship in Sydney, the place I was working in. At that time, I didn't want to accept it because I was in travel mode. I just wanted to see as much as possible and everything. So I didn't want to accept it because it was like a 5-year sponsorship. So you have to be within that company for 5 years. You have to do a certain amount of hours and all this.
So what would the sponsorship like entail? Because I'm not really sure.
So it'll basically say you've got a visa. So it's a visa to work and live.
Okay.
And during that whole process, after the 5 years, then you can get residency and then citizenship and all that. And then keep going. The longer you stay, then you can end up getting an Australian passport, like dual nationality and all that sort of stuff, which is a pretty good thing to do. You know what I mean?
Fun fact, I'm dual nationality, American.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
So you can get working in America.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about moving to America.
Yeah, so you need to marry me to get in.
Yeah. wait. Which state's like gay marriage?
That's true.
Probably can't do that in Texas. Fucking hell.
But yeah, so the sponsorship, you didn't want to commit kind of thing.
Yeah,
You just kind of
exactly.
just travel mode. And just wanted to... The thing is, when you're young as well, commitment is quite scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
So say if you're set to do that for the next 5 years, you'll just feel trapped. Even though you're loving it in Sydney, you might think, oh, I'd quite like to live somewhere else or somewhere else.
Exactly.
But you think, oh, I can't fucking do that now. So yeah, especially when you're young, I think just...
I'd say as well, that's the only regret I've ever got in my life, is that. Because like, the way I feel is everything happens for a reason. There's a purpose of everything, like your friendships, your relationships, everything. There's a reason you go through what you go through, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It builds you as what you're going to be in the future. So like, I never regret anything but that, because sponsorships don't come and go. You know what I mean? Like, once you got a sponsorship offer, that's your one only offer pretty much. And then I tried to do the whole process. Like once I left, I tried to go back in again. It was just the biggest pain in the ass ever. There's a lot of information that you need on yourself, and it was just fucked, man. I just couldn't do it. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it.
So why would you say then it's the biggest regret?
Because
Is there anything you regret?
well, just living there was amazing to live there, because I never really thought of it logically. I can still live there, and while I'm living there for that 5 years, I still have holidays, so I can still see different countries. And then after the 5 years, I can get residency. Once I've got my residency, I can work anywhere in any kind of form. Like I don't need to be employed. I could be self-employed. Then in that way, I can go travel for 6 months, 7 months or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I just didn't think of it like that. I just thought 5 years, end of all. That's it. You know what I mean? Like locked in prison, can't get out. It's fairly as well, because I used to be in prison. Yeah.
So it's difficult, isn't it? Like now, you're in a different mindset than you were to back then, weren't you? 'Cause like say you think you're trapped and you couldn't leave, but now you think, fucking hell, actually it wasn't as bad as it sounds. But yeah, it's one of them. You learn from your lessons, you learn from your mistakes, and you use it as a lesson. But yeah, so after you pied that off, then you turned that down.
Yeah.
What were you up to?
So after like pied that off, and then I did Asia for a little bit more, and then back into the UK. So I was back into Carlisle, and it was like, what the fuck are we doing back in this place, man? The worst place we could ever be in. And just trying to figure our shit out. Got offered a job in Edinburgh, which was sweet. So we moved over to Edinburgh. I actually enjoyed living in Edinburgh. It's a really nice place. And then a few months into living in Edinburgh, my visa for Canada came through. And I was like, oh, sick. I did not expect that, because to get a visa in Canada is a bit of a tricky process. You get put into a pool and you have to get picked out to apply.
Really?
Yeah, that's the way it goes. So there's only every country kind of thing have an allocated amount of visas for a specific country. So the UK have a specific amount for Canada, then Australia have a specific amount. So you have to do the timing perfectly. So you have to do it at a certain month and all that sort of stuff. So it's a luck of a draw, really. And I got it, and I was like, sick. And then I was like, oh fuck, I've literally just moved to a new city, new job and everything. They were buzzing about having me there, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to fucking tell them I'm leaving. So I was just like, I waited, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to tell them because I can't just
go tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't do that to that. You know what I mean? Got to give them a good few months' notice to get a replacement. So yeah, I just broke the news to them, and they were sound, man. They were just like, end of the day, you got to live your life. You know what I mean? We can't stop you from living your life. I mean, too right, you can't stop me.
Nobody's stopping me. So were you still with your girlfriend at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you reckon she was the one who gave you the travel bug? Was she the one kind of saying, "Oh, right, let's go to Canada," or was you like taking over, showing a bit more interest now? Or
so the initial stage of like in Asia was her. She put me onto that. I did enjoy traveling Asia, but also mentally it fucked me up. I'm a kind of person that likes routine. There's no routines. There's no structure, nothing. I did not know where I was staying. All of that. It was just battering my head. I was going through a lot of shit through there, to be honest, man. I remember I had a mental breakdown in New Zealand, living in a camper van for 2 weeks. Being that confined space was fucking me up, man. And I just wasn't comfortable in life anymore. I just didn't know what I was going on.
Yeah.
And I was kind of pushing it, like, I just want to go back home and just kind of reset, you know what I mean?
Recharge your battery. Yeah. Say reset, reevaluate your life.
Exactly. And mentally, it was good for me to do that because it kind of, going back to Carlisle, made me realize there's nothing there in Carlisle. You know what I mean? It's shit. And I needed that reality check. Is that slap in the face?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you going through all this shit, man? You're in amazing places, you know what I mean? Sort your head out, which I did. I've fucking lost track of what I was talking about, kind of thing.
That's all right. It happens, you know what I mean? You just chat and then you're like, oh God, tangent. But no, we were saying then you went to Canada.
Yeah, okay, so I came up with Canada because we lived actually in Gold Coast for a bit as well, and we've got a huge university there, so I've had a lot of international students that were my clients, and a lot of them from Canada, and they were just like telling me how amazing Canada is, and I was like, have you got any like ambitions to live in Australia? They're like, no, I want to move back to Canada as soon as my studies are finished. I was like, what's so fucking great about Canada? And they're just talking about it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to Canada then. Want to see what you guys are talking about. And then just applied for the visa, got it, and just hopped on the plane, and away.
That's so cool. Yeah, like just so spontaneous. And how old are you at this point?
Fuck, I don't even know. Mate, honestly, all the years are fucking
burn into one.
Yeah, burn into one, man.
It's interesting though, because say you grew up in Carlisle, did you?
Yeah.
So like people who grew up in Carlisle, I feel like stereotypically, don't judge me for stating this, but a lot of people will just say like grow up in Carlisle and then just live in Carlisle, won't move away. And I was literally saying on another podcast earlier that I'd always recommend to anyone to just move away from home, even if it is just for 3 months or 6 months or a year, just because it helps you grow as a person, doesn't it? And like helps you find who you are. Because if you're in the same comfortable routine over and over again, you know, the same people, you go to the same workplace, it's the same person you were yesterday. Whereas if you go to a new place, new country, new city, you meet new people, you're forced to, unless you want to be alone all the time, but you go out, you go to work and stuff like that. So it's important to just have a change of scenery, isn't it? And just changes your mindset, and you will actually grow as a person, which is the most important thing. But if you don't want to do that, that's sound.
Exactly. It's up to you. If you want to have like 5 kids and live in Carlisle and have a mortgage for the rest of your life, you go do that.
Yeah, and it's not just tied to Carlisle, but it's like smaller cities, isn't it?
Yeah,
towns and stuff.
Small town mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, which I feel like you need to get out of that mindset really, because you'll just end up being, say, 50 or whatever, like you say, having your wife and kids and stuff, and they'll be 18, and then you think, oh, what have I actually done? I'm too old to do that now. And stuff.
And like, I'm just going by with a lot of what my clients say. I've got so many clients that, you know, grew up in Carlisle, had kids, got a mortgage, the car and all this, and they all just keep telling me, I wish I'd done what you done. They all say that. You know what I mean? I'm just like, fucking put all that on hold. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like that stuff's bad. You don't do that. I'm just saying just put it on hold and go and travel, live a bit, and then have your kids and all that. Because then all those experiences you've had, you're going to put them down onto your kids as well. You know what I mean?
It's powerful, isn't it?
It is, man. Instead of like, they're going to be like so 3-dimensional, whereas they're more just going to be 1-dimensional. You know what I'm saying?
I know, because say my mum and dad, they had me and my brother when they were maybe mid-30s, mid to late 30s. But the reason why I was born in America was because my dad had a job over there. So they'd like travelled the world. They lived in Paris and France, and then Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But Dad travelled a lot with his job, so they experienced them kind of things first. You know what I mean? They had the fun, and then obviously they had them when they wanted to settle down later on. They were married for over 10 years when they had me.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you're not being rushed here.
Yeah.
It's not like who can get married first, who can have the first kid first, who can have the first house first. It's just like, have as much life experience as you want, and not something wrong with commitment, but don't be tied down to things that are gonna implicate, is that the right word? Implicate on your life.
Yeah.
From doing things you want to do, like seeing your clients and stuff, and they say, oh, I regret not doing this, I regret not doing that. They're probably happy in their life, aren't they?
Yeah.
But it's just things that they wish they could have done, which they haven't because they've made other life choices, which I think is important. So yeah, listen to that.
Yeah.
Try to be motivational there. So Canada. So what happened in Canada? After you being lucky to get a visa.
What do? We sort of kind of seen a few cities and all that. Kind of travel first before before we got into work mode. Decided that Montreal is where I wanted. Another sort of backstory about Montreal. The shop I wanted to work at was called Notorious. The reason I know that shop is because I followed a few barbers that used to work there. I actually ended up meeting them for the first time in Newcastle. They came over to the UK. One of the guys, Andrew Van, he lives in Winnipeg, which is like in the middle of Canada. No one wants to ever fucking go there because it's shit and cold. And I said to him, yo, I'm going to see you in Canada one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's probably thinking, guy's capping, you know what I mean? What the fuck's he gonna go? But I actually ended up going seeing him over there.
No.
He's like, when I seen him, he's like, no fucking way, you are in Winnipeg. I was like, yeah, boy, I told you. It's one thing that about me is I'm always true to my word, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I say I'm gonna do that, I might not do it right away.
Yeah.
I might not do it next month or 4 months, but I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The intention's there to do it. It just depends when. But yeah, so went to Montreal, we didn't really get a place to stay yet. We're just Airbnb-ing. I got a job and everything. I was working there. I just couldn't hack living there. The city is sick, but the weather is fucking atrocious.
Cold.
Man. It's -20, right? So I'll tell you the story. This was the turning point for me. I came into work. I had my big ass hiking boots, waterproof boots. I had my trousers on with snow pants above them. I had about 5 layers on my body, literally wrapped up, not a bit of skin showing, and got into work. Everyone's laughing at me. I was like, fuck you guys laughing at you dicks. And then they were just like saying, if you think this is cold, wait till a real winter. The fuck is this then if this ain't a real winter? It's fucking -21. And this is around March, April time.
Yeah.
And they were saying, the manager, Pony, was saying to me, in January it gets to -40.
40.
And I was
You
like,
can't even imagine what's like.
bruh, -40. Oh, no. Like, I tell you what -20 is like. As soon as you step outside, eyelashes are frozen, beard's frozen, legit. It freezes, everything freezes over. You have to have something covering your mouth because when you're breathing that, it's like that dry, cold air. When you're breathing in, it hurts your chest.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's not a nice feeling. And you can't just step outside to go to the corner store. You need to wrap up. You need to put everything on. You need to layer up, which takes about 10 minutes to do.
It's not even worth it.
Yeah. And then everything's frozen. As soon as you step inside somewhere, it melts. So you got a wet face.
What? That's crazy. I couldn't even imagine that.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't deal with that lifestyle. So got into Google. Where's the warmest place in Canada? Vancouver it is.
Yeah,
I was like,
Vancouver.
yeah, I was just like, I don't have a fucking clue about Vancouver. Never heard of it or anything. Hop on the plane, just went there.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? So, because like, I don't know, you see, even though you see like routine instruction stuff, you're very spontaneous, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. If I get an idea or a thought in my head, I do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I feel like, I'm going to go somewhere,
No stopping you.
there's no stopping me. Like
Tunnel vision.
yeah, exactly. Like I might not do it straight away, but I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll find a way of doing it.
It's a good quality to have though, isn't it, really?
Yeah. I'd say
I feel like a lot of people would be affected by external opinions or voices, wouldn't they? Be like,
yeah.
oh, you don't want to go there, you don't want to do that. Oh, why are you doing that? It's like, I just want to do it. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to try it out. And if you tried it out and you don't like it, then at least you know, like you say, you went to Montreal, you went, oh, to be fair, I don't really like it that much, but at least I've done it. You know,
Yeah.
let's go Vancouver instead and see what that's about. I feel like too many people are just caught up on just thinking everything has to be perfect. And if it's not, threw it all out the window and then like they say move on,
Yeah.
whatever.
Life's about experiences, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not every experience is a good experience and not every is a bad one. But like, you need that balance in life of good and bad, you know what I mean? Without each other, you have fucking nothing.
Yeah, the bad ones are lessons, aren't they? That's the most important.
Well, that's how you make comparisons, innit? You know what I mean? If you don't have that bad experience, how do you know something's good?
Yeah, you don't do.
You know what I mean? You just don't know.
Yeah,
It's just an experience.
and the bad makes the good, isn't it?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's cool. So what was kind of like after Canada then? So where are we kind of going from there?
After Canada, randomly ended up in Berlin.
Berlin. That was relatively recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
2-3 years.
Yeah, I literally left Berlin in June.
June last year.
Oh
yeah.
I left in June, so I lived there for about.
That's before we met, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember you saying. Just before, I think.
Yeah, so we met after I left Berlin.
Yeah.
It
was the Euros, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so that was, oh man, okay, that's a whole fucking story. That is. This is when it gets about mental health and all this stuff. I got into a dark ass place. You know what I mean? And I was just a bit of a loose cannon in my mind wise. I just did what was going on. I was just spiraling, fucking going down in the depths, man. And this ended up in Berlin. I didn't tell anyone. I was kind of leaving. Bounced.
Really?
Yeah.
Just thought, oh, fuck this, I'm going.
I'm just going, man. It's like I sort of booked my ticket and I kind of like, all right, I want to gather my friends up for one last sort of,
Yeah.
And then just like bounced. Some of them,
That's cool.
Some of them knew, like I had an idea, like I was leaving because it's kind of like a bit weird, you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, I'm kind of like leaving, by the way. So you better fucking make it tonight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last time you got a series. Yeah. So I kind of had to leave Canada, which was sad to leave, to be honest, because I'd say I had my best friendship group over there. They were like, because I was going through shit during that time and they were mad supportive, you know what I mean?
That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, my mate Jordan, he basically saved me, man, because I was just living on my own at that point, and he was just like, you're not living on your own, come live with me, kind of shit, you know what I mean?
That's the kind of friend you want though, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what I mean? He just sort of like, just basically dragged me, he fucking got all my shit together, put in his car. We did about 5 trips from my place to his place to get everything in there. And then, yeah, he just sort of kind of like kept a watch over me just to make sure I didn't do anything stupid. And then I think then he ended up leaving to his mum's place because this when COVID hit first time. So we were in lockdown and all that stuff that was happening. And then I was just left on my own. And I'd say it's the first time in a very, very long time I was actually left alone. I've always had someone there with me, friends, girlfriend, whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like, first time all actually on my own, and I was with my thoughts and everything.
Yeah, it can be dangerous, that can't it?
Very dangerous. It was very dangerous because I broke down massively. And I didn't realize that I had a lot of childhood trauma that I went through that I just blocked out. And after sort of getting into my head and sort of evaluating everything about myself, because that's all I could do really, because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah,
I've kind of figured out why I behaved the way I did from childhood all the way up into adult life.
really.
Because I was a dick, man. Like, honestly, I was such an asshole. I did a lot of shit that wasn't in my nature, you know what I mean? Like,
out of character.
Yeah, out of character, you know what I mean? I did a lot of spiteful things. I hurt a lot of people, even like people that are close to me, people I loved, you know what I mean? I would intentionally hurt them. I'm not going to go into the reasons why I did that, because that's
different. Yeah.
You know, there's a lot to talk about. I don't fucking depress everyone with this shit. I think just basically just talking about the importance of being on your own. You kind of find yourself. You learn a lot about yourself as well, which is what I'd done. And I kind of like, I felt like I needed to leave Canada to take that next level, if you know what I mean. Because although like I had the best friendship support group I've ever had in my life was there, it was kind of not a distraction. It just wasn't helping me evolve as a person that I needed to be.
You're getting comfortable, would you say?
Yeah. So that's when I ended up moving, and that's when I moved to Berlin. Couldn't understand a word of German. Nothing, man. I could only speak English. The shop I ended up working in, they couldn't speak very good English either. There's only one person that could actually speak English. Like, well, you know what I mean?
So it was the international language of cutting hair.
Yeah, exactly, man. And then you know how I was saying earlier on about everything happens for a reason. You meet certain people for a reason.
Yeah.
This shop that I went to, that I work for, isn't generally a kind of shop I'd go for. It kind of has that Turkish, Armenian, Kurdish kind of vibe, you know, that you see in the UK. Kind of has that vibe, but a little more upper class, you know what I mean? But there's something that drew me to it, you know what I mean? That there's a reason I had to be there. And one of the owners is called Ahmed, a Palestinian dude, and he could barely speak English. He only speaks German, Arabic, that's it. And I don't know what it was, like the energy we had between each other, like it kind of was like healing me, you know what I mean? It kind of made me, I took this sort of step back and I was looking at myself and it's like, why the fuck are you so depressed? You know what I mean? Like kind of like looking at myself and it's just like, it made me snap out of it in a way. And even like our conversations were very small. We just got each other. He's been through some shit, you know what I mean?
He's kind of being on a level with him.
And it was bad, like we literally became brothers, you know what I mean? Like I genuinely consider him as, we're not blood, but like a blood brother, you know what I mean? I'll do anything for him, you do anything for me. He'll come up to me, goes like, Habibi, you like a brother to me from another mother. You know what I mean?
That's quite cute.
You know what I mean? He's such a sound guy, man. And so it was like that whole being in Germany, it kind of helped me evolve even more. You know what I mean? I still did some shit that I shouldn't have been doing. You know what I mean? I did some stuff that's not in my character, but made me realize a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's good though. I suppose that served its purpose, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It served its purpose.
So then how did we then end up in Abu Dhabi?
All right. So this story comes from when I was in Vancouver. You know, like how I say I regretted. Okay. We're taller now. Okay.
Sounds about speaking.
It's all about emotion in the ocean. All right. Yeah. So, you know, with the whole sponsorship in Australia, that's the only thing I regretted. So from then on, I never turned down an opportunity. I take any opportunity that was. So on Instagram, I'm constantly searching for opportunities. Any country, whatever it is, I'm like on it. I'll just message. I've messaged so many bad people. I've got like a catalogue of different countries I've messaged. I just keep contact with them. I network with them. Literally always remember me, you know what I mean?
It's very smart. A lot of people don't do that. They don't want to put in the groundwork, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to use easy to think, I want to work for that. I'll message that one person. And if they don't reply to me, I'm a failure. But if you, like you say, if you've got a catalogue of ones that you want to message and you keep on messaging and make it memorable, then eventually they will reply.
Exactly. So this is my tactic. You guys could use this, right? So I don't message them straight away. I'll follow them first. I'll like their pictures. I'll comment them constantly. So my name constantly pops up. So it's in their mind, my name, subconsciously it's in there.
Yeah, he's the weirdo who always pops up pictures.
Exactly, yeah. So when I slide into the DMs, they'll instantly recognize my name straight away. And then they'll just be curious, they'll entertain it, and then they'll just see what I've written. It's supposed to be like, give me a fucking job. I'm a bit more articulate than that, you know what I mean?
Then how did it come about then? Abu Dhabi, sorry.
Yeah, so Abu Dhabi didn't even know even existed. You know what the fuck Abu Dhabi was. There's a barber called Alex that I knew of because of another guy. So he was working for one of my mates in Birmingham. I met him once before and I followed him on Instagram and stuff. And I seen that he posted about a job local. Because he's in Abu Dhabi now. And I just looked at the shop and I was like, this sounds sick, you know. So I messaged him, goes, so what's the deal with the job and all this? He goes, stop him a message. I was like, all right, sweet. So I dropped him a message, spoke with the owner, I had a few FaceTime calls and everything like that. And then they were saying, oh, can you come out in December for a trial for a week? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. And then looked at the flight prices. Yeah, I ain't coming, bro. $6,000, man. $6,000. Yeah.
We also have to off.
Well, like, because there's no direct flights, so you
have to go.
Yeah. But it's just Etihad or Emirates.
Yeah, it's like,
one of the big boys, you know. So I said to him, nah, I'm not getting that. And then they were saying like, oh, but if you're successful with the trial, we'll reimburse you the money. We'll give you the money back.
That were in the character.
Yeah. I said, no. I'm like, no. I was just like, nah, mate. I ain't got the money. Like, legit, I just don't have that money. Yeah. Without hesitation, I will pay for it. So they paid for me to come up for a week from Vancouver to Abu Dhabi, put me up in a hotel. They gave me money for food. And yeah, I worked 7 days straight. Grafting, man. It was busy as well. I was very exhausted. Kind of seeing how the boys, the barbers that lived in there, they kind of showed me seeing a little bit. Not that much, to be honest, because I was just working so much and I was jet lagged the whole. And I was like, yeah, this sounds pretty sick, man. And then COVID hit, and I just thought it's over. You know what I mean? The opportunity's gone. It's not going to happen anymore. The funny thing is, I deactivate my accounts a lot, man. I just like to go on a social media break. You know what I mean? The social media, I actually hate social media. It just traps you in. You know what I mean? You end up living your life off it. You're fucking posting everything constantly. I'm saying, this ain't me.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I had everything deactivated, and luckily I checked my emails. I checked my email. I got an email from the manager, and I said, "What the fuck's he emailing me for?" And he's like saying, "Yo, so our new shop is actually opening. We're going ahead with it and all this, blah blah blah." And he was like, "So we want you to come back down." And I was like, "Oh, sick." And then I was like, "We've got one issue, mate." I was like, "Well, I live in Berlin now. The just moved here. Got an apartment. Got a phone contract." Because I thought to myself, right, I'm going to stay in Berlin for a little while, yeah. Because I had loads of little other ventures set up. Because I don't just do barber, I've got like loads of stuff on the side. In Berlin is actually going to be a really good place for me to do all this what I wanted to do. And I was networking with a lot of people as well. So anyways, I was just like thinking, what do I do here? Then I remembered, like, I never really thought of things logically before the whole city thing. So this is how, you know, you learn from your past mistakes. So I thought about it and I was like, Germany is always going to be there. I can move there if I want to, whenever. Abu Dhabi ain't like that, because Abu Dhabi is a sponsorship, basically.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I want to take this. And I said to him, yo, you need to meet me, see if I can get rid of my apartment. Phone contract's a whole lot, what I'm coming through. And he's like, all right, nice. Managed to get rid of the apartment, couldn't get rid of my phone contract, still paying for it. €100 a month.
What you got to do?
Exactly, you got to do what you got to do, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I left Germany. I thought, right, I'm going to go back to England because I've been there for about 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So I might as well see, I would see my folks or anything. Jen, I didn't really want to see that. Didn't want to see that, but I didn't want to see my nephew, man, because he's like me, basically.
Yeah.
I was like, right, go see them and see some of my mates as well, back in Carlisle and Manchester and stuff. And then fucking caught COVID, you know, as you do.
Yeah.
And ended up being in Carlisle for a lot longer than I wanted. And that's losing my shit, man.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, got rid of all that. And then, yeah, hopped on the plane. And I fucking lived in Dubai for a bit. You know what I mean? It's chilling in Dubai, living the high life. And then, yeah, back into work life in Abu Dhabi. Here I am.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what would you say to anyone? That's a pretty extensive list of travelling. So obviously barbering's massively helped you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Doing that. And then, but what would you say to anyone that's maybe thinking or contemplating about travelling, whether you're maybe in the 20s?
All I'd say is you don't need to plan everything. I planned fuck all, to be honest. And generally when I did plan, it kind of didn't turn out. Just go with the flow. Just book your flight. That's the first step you need to do. As soon as you book your flight, you land in that country, just go with the flow after that. You know what I mean? You've got to have a bit of money behind you, but you're taking pounds a day, so you're going to live like a king. Just don't. You can do it like I did, you know, but I would say it's the smartest way.
It's a fun way, though.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun. It's not the smartest way. You know, that's it. It is what it is.
Yeah. So that's it for the main part. It's on to everyone's favourite part of the podcast. That is relationship advice. So this is what you're looking forward to.
Yeah.
Doctors
feel like Dr. Muj Ali, how can I help you guys today?
So the way it works is we anonymously name them, so we don't want to name drop who they are. Right. So it'll either be a boy or a girl. So the first one, is a girl. So what are we going to call her?
Janet.
Janet. Actually, my mum's name. So what do? I've got high expectations and I can't get in a relationship.
First thing I'd say to this is like, you need to fucking check yourself. You know what I mean? Like, why did you you know what I mean? You know, look at yourself in the mirror. Why do you think why have you got high expectations? First, look at what you bring to the table. You know what I mean? Like, further, if you've got high expectations, but if your standards, you're yourself, you're there as well, then yeah.
Self-awareness, I think, is important, isn't it?
Yeah, massively.
Because like I say, if you thinking yourself way above your actually, then maybe it is unrealistic, but maybe you just haven't found the right person yet and you just need to be patient.
Yeah. Just don't walk around like you're shitting up steak, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Humble yourself, you know what I mean? Just fucking humble yourself. You're not God's gift to the world, you know what I mean? Everyone has their faults. There's no such thing as perfection, you know what I mean? Stop looking for perfection. Stop looking generally. You will find what's needed for you. Look, you won't find it, it'll come to you. Basically, it will come to you.
Second question, relationship advice after technical difficulties. I'm sorry. My boyfriend always leaves the cupboards open and won't do the smallest tasks. How do we do that?
All right, bring him back to basics. Train him up like a dog. Give him little treats for every little good thing he does, and watch, he'll start doing it, no problem.
Easy. Right, final one. I've recently become single and downloaded Tinder. What do I put on my profile?
Right. Okay, so if you're a guy, don't put no fish pictures on there, no sunglasses, nothing like that. Put some social pictures on with your friends, some activities that you're doing, a smiling photo so they can see that you got teeth, and a little bit of a bio. Don't have it blank because you'll just look like a douchebag. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Plain and simple. Right, everyone. Thanks much for coming on. It's been a pleasure as always. So everyone, if you're listening on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, comment what your favorite part of the podcast is. If you've got any questions from Muj, leave it in there. Listening on Apple or Spotify, make sure you follow me on there for more episodes. Muj, thank you very much for coming on, and we will see you very, very soon. Peace! Bye, 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 bye.